So welcome to Gates and Scheme. Normally there hasn't been an issue when we're doing labs and stuff like that. It's actually been the NOT gate that has tripped people up. Yes, there is ands, there's ors, there's nots. Matter of fact, you'll see in the code here, the ands and ors light up. The NOT does not. But it actually does work, but there's a syntax issue that you and I actually have to get over. And that's the difference between these two right here. You'll notice the first statement's actually going to go ahead and run, and here's the reason why. Is because not is a function, and then it requires in Scheme to have its parameters directly after it. Whereas the next line down, it's not, and then it has a set of parentheses. That's not exactly a value or a function because of our parentheses. So this one's actually not going to work. So let me show you just to prove it. So let me get out. I'm going to try to run it. And notice it tells me line 4 was that same line that we had that issue. So remember, we have to make sure that we use the not as a function, not as a, well, combination with the variable itself. So we have to be very, very careful about that. So let me show you the other examples down below that will also help out as well. So here's our ands and ors and stuff like that. You're going to see ands. I skipped past the or already, so let me try that back here real quick. There it is. There's nothing crazy about it. Notice I'm putting trues and falses in. They could have been variables. They could have been other conditions. They could also be other functions. So we have to be very, very careful on what we do here, because here's the weird part about this, just to prove about the not part. Remember that in the Scheme, it's always the operator, and then the parameters are variables and or functions, because really, honestly, they're interchangeable. So notice I'm able to pass in two functions called not and then a false, and Scheme's not going to have any problem with this. So that's why I'm going over the not, because not's a little bit tricky compared to maybe what you've had with and. So you'll also notice that in the comments I'm showing you what you and I would be used to if we did it in C++ or Java. So use that in your considerations when you're using stuff with conditions. Be very careful.